happening, guys? In today's video we're actually showing a cart that we did almost a year ago. I could have swore I edited this video, but I guess I didn't. I was cleaning off some hard drives on my computer and found where we built Eli's go-kart, which is Braxton's older brother. He had a Murray just like the street go-kart, and he wanted to make it a center seat, a single seater go-kart. So we got it in the garage, cut it apart, and fixed it up for him. So hope you guys enjoy the video, and we'll see you at the end. So we got an old Murray in the garage today. This is Braxton's brothers. Old brothers. He's wanting us to put a live axle on it because of course it's one wheel peel, and you can see one of the wheel stubs are broke off. He cut the steering wheel off just like I did, and we're going to put the steering wheel hoop from Go Power Sports right there, and we're also, like I said, going to weld some Go Power Sports axle bearing hangers back here, and then a Go Power Sports engine plate and all that good stuff. So we got to take off these fenders and then cut this square tubing out that's going from side to side. You can see someone's added this bar as a brace. It's pretty smart actually, but they welded it right there and added this little length of pipe, put a little clamp around it right there, and then clamped it to the back section. Like I said, it's pretty smart. Oh yeah, and we also got to cut the engine section off, so let's get to it. Wrench it. The new air is holding it down with the AC unit. Feels pretty darn good in here. And we don't even have the new air fan on right now because she blows like a hurricane and we get a little bit of wind noise. Braxton got one of those fenders off. We'll grab this other one off and then start cutting some stuff. So I took a part of the roll cage and cut it down to make a little 90 section back here because this is 1.25 inch and we only have an 1.5 inch die and a 1 inch die, so we can't bend anything. So we can tack this all in place. I got a piece of angle iron to keep these straight and tack this in place, and that'll give us a place to put our Injone plate. Then we notched a couple of tubes to go up here. I don't know where they're going to be at exactly, but that'll give us a good area. We can weld this to the floor as well as to this tubing to give it a good sturdy, steering hoop. And we got two more of these notch pieces. They'll go over top of this weld from side to side, one on each side, and that'll strengthen it, this whole back section. And then the last thing, then we'll do the engine plate. And then the last thing we'll do is measure out the axle hangers, get them tacked on, build some ears for them, and put the live axle hangers on. Other than that, we got to add a brake pedal, which I'll probably put the brake pedal just completely like this is. Just bolt it to the side. We'll run most likely a cable to a mechanical disc brake. So got a couple things. Oh, and then the guy, my brother-in-law, cut. So this used to be here. He ground that with a metal cutting disc. Concrete cutting disc, that's right. A metal blade and an angle grinder for concrete. He did this because the exhaust was going to hit instead of putting 1-inch risers under the engine. He don't know, he's new to all this, bless his heart. So what we have to do is tack this back in there, and then I gotta cut a piece of metal to fall in here and weld this up so it looks normal. So we got a lot of little welds to do. Got the Everlast on. I'm gonna have to kick her down a notch because she's a Hawk and it'll blow through this tubing in no time. So I'm gonna try something different. I think turn it up to about 120. Start it at 120. 5. Go to 120. Okay. So that's tacked. Let me go ahead and tack this again. Just going to tack everything into place and then hammer down welding. We're going to go this way with it. Maybe. Just lay it down how she lays. Grind this paint.
Okay.
Fast as you can, like a bunny.
He's getting his costume on. Yeah.
It takes you a while to learn that sparks won't hurt you.
He's got
I was scared of them at first.
On.
When I was first building go-karts, I was scared of them. You know, I was like, grinding stuff like this. Then you learn.
Bounces off the opposite way and hits your wrist like,
Drop the grinder. Yeah!
I got you. Hold on, Tony done started it. I'm back to get us on.
And then where? Right here.
There you go. Go for it. Oh God. I didn't know you realized I was there.
Alright, so we mounted the steering wheel hoop off camera. We was just working like little worker bees. Didn't pull the camera out, but now I'm welding on the steering wheel flange. I just got to keep this as centered as I can get it, or I can put a big fat bead on it. And we can just level her out with the old eyeball level. So now we have, so basically this is 1/2-inch rod stock, and I got some 1/2-inch pipe. This pipe has the 1/2-inch inside diameter. I'm going to do this just like the street go-kart and weld this so it's kind of like that. Alright, so it's been a little bit of time. since we worked on this. We needed an axle, I think it was. So we stopped on this for a few weeks and finally got it back. I cobbled up some spindles. You can see how we had to bend those. And we welded some little gussets in there, so that's all good. It's got good steering. Now we put all the pedals on, the bench seat, bolted the engine up. It was pretty much everything was done other than axle hangers. And he had notched his frame right here to fit the exhaust instead of putting a riser back when it was single wheel pull. So Brandon cut a little piece of tube out to fill that hole in. And then we got to put this brace right in this area because of course I'll hammer it in there straight. But it's just like the street go-kart. When you get on it, the frame, there's nothing connecting one side of the frame to the other back here, so it wants to bend down and start kicking the chain. So we can weld this in to brace that, tension up the chain again, and that should fix the problem because we watched it and you could see it just, I mean, it's just not thick enough tubing and stuff, so that kicker should fix it. So Brandon's going to weld this up, hand him the ground and the lead. We can go take this for a test rip snort. Well, 27 years later, here she is. We actually finished this video months ago. How long have you had it, Eli?
June.
So, good while, almost a year. And he's been riding it. You can tell he's wore out. Did you bend this or was it already bent?
It's been sitting like this for a while.
Okay, so he's got custom camber gang. And it's wearing out his tires. I got him new tires for the back. He wore those completely out till they pretty much wouldn't hold air anymore. But she's holding up great. You can see where we did that brace. If you have a Murray cart like this, you need to do this brace right here because the way we did the live axle swap, this whole section of the frame was flexing under hard load. So we fix that. Have you kicked any chains since you had it? No. Oh, it's been perfect. So he's been hooning on her. He probably may paint her. Braxton put Chacha Dog. Where did that word come from?
Parker.
So it's just made up?
Yeah.
Okay. So Chacha Dog was spray painted on the floor pan against Eli's wishes, but I think it kind of stayed the Chacha Dog. So Lonnie's going to rip around the church parking lot and see how she runs. So what's next? Nitrous, 80-inch spoiler,
Turbo charger.
turbos, short shifter for the torque converter. Where do you think shoes at?
These?
Those are nice. You need to get the little croc pins.
The what are they called?
Croc clips.
No, they're what are they called?
Trying to show off his baseball career.
No.
Yeah, dare him. Oh, new merch. Drop you a fat clicking on new merch. Oh yeah, new merch. Oh, whoa. She needs idled down a bit.
Yeah, and you really got to mash on the brakes, but it was fun.
Yeah,
I didn't realize there's a bunch of people at the church right now.
Is there? There, this brake setup, he needs hydraulic brakes. I never have. For big people and more power, those mechanical discs are just good for more of a stock setup. You can see where he's blowing oil out of his valve cover vent. It just keeps it from rusting, is all it does.
Lubrication.
Someone busted the baffles out of, I gave him a Go Power Sports muffler. Someone at school, he said, busted the baffles out of it, which is kind of stupid because you might as well take the muffler off because all it is a few flat pieces of steel. So his throttle isn't returning home. That's why you can see that's got a little flop in it. But you know, she needs a little TLC.
It's about to break, it looks like right here.
That's just throttle control.
Yeah.
But she get old go-kart. This is a
fun.
quick. Yeah, we used the roll cage. He didn't want the roll cage. We used the roll cage to make the live axle setup. So this piece of tube here was a bend off the roll cage, and then the straight pieces there we welded in. The straight pieces under Lonnie's leg we welded in, and then this is a Go Power Sports steering wheel hoop, and then new tie rods and stuff. We built our own little spindles. So yeah, she works out good. You've been ripping on her, didn't you? Do a bunch of donuts and whatnot.
I did. I didn't think we all had.
Yeah, I got back
need to
there
get
and
air.
I was like, oh gosh, there's a lot of people here. And it's loud.
Yeah, she's a good one. The old Chotch dog. Guys, let us know in the comment section below what you thought of the video. This cart turned out awesome. He's been driving it for almost a year. Already wore out a set of back tires. He's been having a lot of fun. I do need to adjust like that throttle not returning home. Probably going to put a little side throttle linkage on it so we can leave the gas tank on it. But he's been having a ton of fun on it, doing donuts, living life. Him and Braxton's been riding around together. We got to get Braxton's go-kart in the garage very soon and bend that spindle back down, just like Eli's go-kart. Eli's go-kart's cambered on both sides, so it isn't that big of a deal, but Braxton is bent on one side, so it only turns properly one way. So we need to get that in here and fix it. But make sure to check out the links in the description below where you can find every part we used on this go-kart: the wheels, tires, the performance parts, seat, steering wheel hoop. All that stuff is located down below, and those do help the channel to continue to grow, guys. So make sure to use those links because they do help us out. Stay tuned. We're going to have a video coming out tomorrow and also next Friday. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for your support. Thank you Go Power Sports for sponsoring our channel. Couldn't do this without you guys. We love you guys, and God bless.